Please stand. May we hear and be fully present to this land acknowledgement. Together, we acknowledge that Colorado College was founded and built upon exclusion and erasures of many indigenous peoples, including the land and buildings where we have the gift to live, study, work, play, and love on. We acknowledge all of these places are within the unceded territory of the Ute peoples and other tribes, nations who continue to live on this land, the Apache, Arapaho, Comanche, and Cheyenne. Together, we acknowledge and honor their ancestors, past and present, and future generations, their vibrancy and strength, resilience and activism, whose continued struggles for justice on this land in the face of genocide and systems of injustice continue to inspire us. As individuals, a community, and institution, each day we strive to collectively take steps to dismantle settler colonial privilege and diminish colonial structures of violence to which we have and continue to systematically benefit from. This land acknowledgement is one small step as we recognize that land acknowledgements must be preceded and followed with ongoing and unwavering daily commitments, support, and advocacy to Native American and Indigenous communities. Again, may we hold these words and be fully present to them every day. And may we also hear these words of greeting to the new year. We welcome this new year, this new beginning, gathering in the highest good, our hopes and dreams with intention. As we get to decide who and how we are going to be in community, a choice we make every day, as we explore the way ideas and actions join passion and compassion to empower the best for all of us, giving us the opportunity to grow beyond our limitations into places of deeper respect and understanding for ourselves and each other in our living, learning, being, and becoming. And in this moment, we pause and reflect, saying hello as we greet the new year, as we embrace the invitation to call in the words, wisdom teachings, sacred sounds in the presence of people and ancestors that may ground, support, and sustain us. As together we welcome what is possible, open to what is possible, asking all that we hold as sacred and meaningful to bless us on this first day of the new year. May it be so.
You may be seated.
Shelter from the
Good morning, everyone. It's the beginning of the year. Let's have a little bit more energy in the room. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I want to give a warm welcome to all of our new and returning students, staff, and faculty. It's wonderful to all be back here on campus together. So to the class of 2027, congratulations. You are about to embark on an academic adventure unlike any other. And as you sit here, class of 2027, perhaps feeling excited or scared, worried or elated. By the way, just so you know, class, I feel that same way at the beginning of every academic year. And so if you're feeling all of those mixed emotions, it is natural. And I know that there are very likely some of you sitting there saying to yourselves, this is the place I belong. And then there will be others of you sitting there, like I was when I started my college career, saying to myself, I don't belong here. Someone made a mistake. Regardless of what you may be feeling, I want you all to know you do belong here. We did not make a mistake, because it is not easy to become a member of this unique community, and that's because we are very selective. We only admit those students who are curious and courageous, who we believe will thrive on the block plan, who we believe will be willing to step outside of their comfort zone to learn new things and to discover who they are. We also pride ourselves on being unique and bold, and we believe that that is who you are. We see that in you. That's why you're sitting here today, class of 2027, and we'll be here to help you nurture and grow the spark that we see in you. You are part now of a very special community. We are dedicated to igniting your passion and your potential to create a world that is more equitable, more humane, and more just. That's why the liberal arts education that you will receive here will challenge you every day to think differently. We will challenge you to try new things, to test your beliefs, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. And sometimes when you make mistakes and you test out new beliefs and you try out different things, there will be people who will judge you for that, and my advice to you is to ignore them. Because this is your journey, not theirs. And whether or not people judge you is not your business. So keep that in mind. And if you're willing to push yourself, if you're willing to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, if you're willing to do all of that, then CC is a place where you will thrive. But I promise you, it will not be easy. It won't. But at CC, we don't do easy. It's why we have the block plan, the only school who was able to pull that off 50 plus years ago. We were the first school in the country to have an anti-racism commitment. We were the first in the Rocky Mountain West and the 8th in North America to achieve carbon neutrality, and none of that was easy because we don't do easy here. So if things feel hard, if things feel challenging, that is normal. It should. But even as things feel hard and challenging, I want each and every one of you to reach out to anyone if you need help. Please do that. I still do that. It is important to recognize that it is hard, it is difficult sometimes, and it is important to reach out for help when you need it. So what makes the liberal arts education that we provide so unique? There are many things that I could talk about. I could talk about our remarkable faculty and our remarkable staff, but it's also the way that we teach, the block plan. Through the block plan, you'll learn how to immerse yourselves in a subject, to integrate new knowledge quickly, and to concentrate deeply for hours at a time. And this way of learning will be your superpower when you graduate. Our alumni tell us all the time that the ability serves them well, no matter what it is that they decide to do once they leave us. And employers, graduate schools, foundations, and others constantly tell us how special, unique, and impactful our graduates are because of their ability to think differently and to learn courageously from others. And you won't get this superpower anywhere else. And in this world that is quickly changing because of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, the world needs people like you who can learn quickly, fail quickly, and be prepared for the future that we can't even predict today. And your ability to think differently and to reach across difference, to learn things, to hear from people that you may vehemently disagree with, our world needs that today too. Just on social media, just turning on the TV, you see our inability to speak to each other. You see the hatred. You see the fact that our democracy is hanging by a thread, and we need you more than ever. And because of the way we teach, I hope that you will take advantage of everything that the finest liberal arts education in the world will provide you. Because of the skills you will learn and the way that we teach, you're good no matter what you take. So don't feel like you have to take a class because you feel like you must for that job that may exist later. Instead, take science and religion. Take philosophy and business. Take art. Take advantage of everything, even if you're not sure that you might like it. Take advantage of the finest liberal arts education that you will get anywhere. We are also a place where you can personalize your education under the close guidance and supervision of professors who are here to encourage you, to challenge you, and to support you. Do you want to create a major? You can do that. Do you want to do something urban or in the mountains? You can do that. Do you want to combine art and science? You can do that. Do you want to collaborate with faculty on important research and publish with them? You can do that too. You can do all of that and more. You will also learn in small classes where you cannot hide, where you will get to know your professors well, where you will spend at least 3 hours with them almost every day. And this is an incredible and unique experience that you will only get here at CC. And your faculty, they will know you, mentor you, push you, and many of them will become lifelong mentors and friends. So welcome to this unique and special place. You are joining a community that thinks differently, that does courageous and bold things, and that's willing to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. And like I said earlier, we see those qualities in you. That's why we ask you to join us out of all of the talented people who applied. As one alumnus recently said, and I quote, "This is a place where you can engage fully, jump up on the table if you need to, test your knowledge, and be humble and searching. You will never get another chance like this," they said. And I agree with our alumnus' quote, so think differently, dream big, work hard, and have fun. And by the way, please come see me in the president's office. And now I would like to introduce our CC Student Government Association President, Vicente Blas Talleron, class of 2024, to say a few words. Please give him a very warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, I love the energy. I wanted to first start off really just thinking about what a CC experience looks like. A CC experience for me was just today, this morning, waking up at 6 a.m., going to Amy's Donuts, getting 10 dozen donuts, and passing it out to students today. A CC experience looks like studying abroad in Italy, having fun there, partying responsibly, of course, and also eating pasta, drowning yourself in pasta. A CC experience looks like working desk from 6:45 to 7:45 a.m., talking about my friend Braylon here, and then coming straight here, and then after that, enjoying brunch with the girlies. CC experiences are vast, and I find myself up here trying to embrace that vastness and that originality as I wear this Nike sweatshirt in front of you all. But please know that this day has been a very hectic, but something that's beautiful about being a CC student is getting from one place to another, having different experiences, embracing the day with creativity, originality, and innovation, and always thinking about how we can give back to our community in more intentional ways. So, good morning, President Richardson, distinguished faculty and staff, and of course, my fellow Tigers. Today we return to our campus after a period of rest, of softness, a time to reflect on our lives as junior scholars, human beings, emerging leaders, and so much more. We once again are reminded of the importance of our education, as President Richardson had mentioned, in a world that is faced with so many issues and challenges. Fires in Maui, rising sea levels, gender inequity, racism, queerphobia, transphobia, fatphobia, all pervade our everyday lives. These issues and so much more. And as we begin the school year, let us reflect on the role we play in forging a more just and equitable world, and the responsibility we each have as people who have the privilege of attaining this education to acknowledge our positionality and use the knowledge we learn to forge a more equitable world. Now, we often hear, forge a more equitable world. What does a more equitable world look like? A world that maybe we can't immediately eliminate the issues we face, but we can work one by one together, hand in hand, to implement policy, to do art, to create art, to do activism, to show up to things that make the world a better place, that encourage inclusivity and equity for all. When first coming to CC, I was quite timid, as we all once were, but over time, we gain our grounding, and we learn to fly, to excel, and to become more of who we truly are. And this place provides us with the first step to make that more equitable world that we so badly want. Let us be reminded of this as we start the school year, the journey of growth we have all experienced and will experience, and the need for us to continue to build a community of unending joy that is dedicated to remaining empathetic in a world of increasing turmoil. And I want to repeat that again, to remain empathetic in a world of increasing turmoil. Let this year be fun. Make memories with your friends, with your besties. Roll down Preserve Hill on a snowy day. Be safe, of course. Drown yourself in coffee from Colorado Coffee. Dance like you've never danced before at dance workshop. Rent out a library room. Cry for a bit. Study for a bit. Laugh for a bit with your friends. And remember to just have fun and let these memories fill you with happiness. Let them become a hallmark experience and let them serve as fond remembrances in your college life. There is truly no other time like this where we are afforded this adventure, as chaotic as it may be. So enjoy it while it lasts, and let it inspire you to be a bit more of yourself and to live life to the fullest. Let this time in our lives as we float through semi-independency and we're trying to get into adulthood, let it bring us to a point of joy where we are no longer worried about what people think, but we are living for ourselves and the desire to foster joy for others as well. Let it make us think more critically about the world, about our society, and what we seek to change to make a better world for all. Lastly, as we begin this school year, I want to take time to also say and acknowledge the importance of humility as we approach this school year and are in a space of immense privilege. For those of you who know, our campus and our school is afforded a lot of opportunities. Regardless of our socioeconomic status, we as students assume a position of privilege by just having the opportunity to attend here. Remember that privilege. Remember that in your interactions with our faculty and staff, and let it remind you of the importance of humility in a world where pride is increasing. Take pride in your accomplishments, but never let that make you stray away from kindness, from approaching people, from approaching the common person. Never mistaken a degree for licensure to just over-explain and analyze. Degrees are respectable, but we all must have human empathy at the end of the day. Remember that this year. I hope this year brings us all joy. I hope this year brings us all into more of our authentic self, and to allow us to celebrate each other more. Let's have a good year, y'all. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Vicente. We know now we're going to have an incredible year after that, right? That is right. Okay, my cap is about to fall off, but that's all right. Today, we are presenting two extraordinary individuals with honorary degrees. John Weiss is an alum. He graduated in the class of '78, and he's also a parent whose son graduated in the class of 2021. And John is founder of Colorado Publishing House and a champion of independent journalism in Colorado Springs. So he will be one honorary degree recipient. And our next, and she will also share words with us, is Patience Aime Olal Kabwasa, who is the executive director of Food to Power, an impactful community organization here in the Springs. And Patience will also be delivering today's keynote address. Both awardees exemplify our vision at CC to create a world that is more just. And we are proud to recognize their achievements and the impact they have made on their communities, on this community here in Colorado Springs. So let me ask Professor Stephen Haywood, who is the faculty sponsor, to introduce John Weiss.
30 years ago, John Weiss, class of '78, parent of class of 2022, launched the Colorado Springs Independent Alternative Weekly in the face of a statewide anti-LGBTQ+ ballot measure called Amendment 2 that had its roots in Colorado Springs, this city. Weiss described the decision to found the Indy as an effort to, quote, make Colorado Springs a more informed, tolerant, sustainable, authentic, vibrant, and welcoming community. Along the way, he built a local media empire with his Colorado Publishing House, running newspapers in Manitou Springs and elsewhere, including for our local military bases, and in 2019, the Southeast Express. Recently, Weiss stepped back from the publishing company he founded and donated it to a nonprofit, along with $250,000 as a grant to help attract matching donations. Outside of the publishing industry, he's also been a fierce advocate in this community. In 1997, he helped spearhead the city's first successful quality of life tax to support the Trails, Open Space, and Parks Initiative, and was instrumental in the Indie Give campaign, which has raised more than $15 million for local nonprofits. President Richardson, in recognition of his myriad contributions to journalism, to civic engagement, and to the betterment of Colorado Springs and its citizenry, I present John Weiss for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
And by action, oh, please. And by action of a committee of faculty and the trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, John Weiss, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. And as a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma. And now, to present our second honorary degree, I will ask faculty sponsor, Professor Florencia Rojo, to please join me and make an introduction.
In 2014, a group of CC alum founded the Colorado Springs Food Rescue to reduce food waste while increasing food access by working with local businesses to redistribute food locally. With the mentorship from a local community organizer and leader, Patience Kabwasa, this grassroots organization, now Food to Power, sits on 3.5 acres in the Hillside neighborhood and has expanded its reach and leadership in the realm of food justice, offering programs that span multiple aspects of the local food system. As the organization's executive director, Patience has grown and diversified Food to Power's staff and ensured that its programs prioritize the residents of this city most directly impacted by food apartheid. Patience is a leading voice in social justice activism and a persistent advocate for racial, food, and economic justice in Colorado Springs. She is an invaluable mentor for CC students and a collaborator with faculty, and for these reasons, Madam President, I present Patience Aimé Olo Kabwasa for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
And by action of a committee of faculty and the trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Patience Kabwasa, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit you to all rights and responsibilities pertaining to this degree. And as a token of this honor, I ask that you be vested with the hood appropriate to the degree, and I present you with this diploma. And I am now very pleased to invite Patience Kabwasa to give the keynote speech, The Power of You in the Process.
This really feels like the academic Oscars. I just want to first say praise to the Most High God, whose grace and love is far more reaching and expansive than I could ever fully in my entire life understand. And in this literal case, the lifter of my head. To my children, I love you, I love you, I love you. Your strength, your courage, your heart, your beautiful hearts. I'm honored to be your mother. To my family, to those who came before me and those who are physically present, my extended family in Colorado and Utah and across the US and globe, my church families, my friends, Colorado Springs Food Rescue / Food to Power family, and every single person who has been a part of my journey and continues to be. I just want to say thank you. Specifically, I want to say to my tata and my mama that it means so much to me that you are able to see this. I'm really going to try not to cry, but I'm going to cry. To witness this moment, it means so much. I want to also acknowledge that where I currently stand, work, thrive, and have currently benefited from here, Colorado College, and even the land in which Food to Power resides, is the unceded territory of the Ute people, the earliest documented people, which also include the Apache, Arapaho, Comanche, and Cheyenne, and many other nations. They are not invisible. They are still here living and thriving, and we all need to struggle with and on how we acknowledge land better and ways that are not performative, but actionable, tangible, and what it looks like to rematriate land to those communities. To the Colorado College Board of Trustees, President L. Song Richardson, the faculty and students of Colorado College, the Academic Honors Committee, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude. This honor is truly extraordinary, just incredible. Now I just want to say, welcome, class of 2027, change makers, artists, poets, philosophers, musicians, educators, writers, scientists, liberal artists, thought leaders, welcome to your first day. Started from the bottom down, we're here. I just have always wanted to say that, so I'm gonna say that. Real talk though, it's been tremendous to just have this blessing to be in your presence. What a privilege, opportunity, appointment, whatever you want to call it, that you made it here to this platform, and that the way that you are charging forward at this juncture in your life to lead us into the future, starting and remaining in the present. To be here and to endure here is no small feat, and I recognize that that journey looks different for everyone, and you have been preparing for this moment for a long time, some of you your whole lives, and I see you, and again, welcome. You're here because you're curious, you're open-minded, and value the pursuit of knowledge from various disciplines. Just like you, vast and expansive are your interests and your ability to focus on more than one area with passion and vigor. You want to understand deeper the world around you, grow in your critical thinking skills, challenge and push back on ideas and philosophies that don't serve you. You are on a quest for truth that brings freedom and self. What it is that you are purposed for, and this place is a part of your journey. Your voice matters no matter where you are, and the days and the years will go by and you will continue to grow in the amplification of your voice and discover where change is needed and what your part is in it. You want to love deeper, you want to heal the world around you and grow your talents and skills to the absolute impact for a better world. You are the global future, and we are your now. My encouragement to you is that while you are here, make this campus and the wider Colorado Springs community your home. Get to know it like you would any friend. Make time to spend time in community and practice the power of your being right here in this community while you're at Colorado College. Whew. Journalist Johan Hari says that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it is human connection. I grew up in Utah, and I was born to a Congolese father and a biracial second-gen Chicana mother. Rooted in wider systemic supremacist racism, and the political environment also was very LDS and had a lot of roots there. There were lots of barriers. I say all that to say that there were lots of barriers to being able to be in connection with my ethnic origins. They always felt like they were at a distance. In my homes, I spoke English and none of my familial languages, other than what I could pick up here and there from conversations around me. Growing up, no one in my family looked like me. Maybe a few people in my town looked like me, but certainly no one other than my little sister shared my ethnicity. At times, I felt overwhelmingly lonely and misunderstood, but I could not verbalize why. I was born and spent my early development years in Ogden, Utah, the unceded territory of the Ute, Gashute, Paiute, and Shoshone, and many other indigenous nations that are still living and thriving there today. And at the turn of the century, Ogden was known as a junction city. It was the confluence point of the Union Pacific and the Central Pacific Railroads, and it was an area that was affluent and had vice. However, by the time my family came, and on my mom's side, largely from the railroad and ag workers, and my father migrated here from the Democratic Republic Congo, between the 1940s and 70s, that prosperity was long gone, and it was ridden with economic disinvestment, segregation, and very conservative politics. The population was about 65,000 people, and of that, the demographic makeup was about 62% white, 32% Latina, and less than 2% Black, African, or African American. This environment, coupled with some very traumatic experiences in my early years, primed me for rejection and abandonment wounds. For sheer emotional survival, it also became a training ground to teach me how to learn to connect with people. Sometimes that was good, and sometimes it wasn't. But when I felt alone, I developed habits based upon the resources that were available to me, and those weren't always conducive for my health. I remember one time, specifically when I was 10 years old, I had a secret habit. We were on food stamps back then, and back then they came in little coupon books, and I took some from my mom's purse. Sorry, Mom, she's watching this. I don't think I've ever told you the story. I took some from her purse, and I used to walk to the Smith's grocery store and to the bulk bins, and I would buy the biggest bag of saltwater taffy that I felt like I could get away with without the cashier questioning me. And then I would walk home, and I would find a secluded place, and I would literally stuff myself until my stomach was so sick. And in those moments, I felt elated, I felt uplifted, I felt joyful, and I felt connected. Years later, I came to understand that in those dark moments, little Passy is what my family call me, those were the tools that I had available to me to boost my serotonin. And I was trying, it was a yearning from a deep sense of wanting to feel connected. That pattern of desperately seeking out what I needed in ways that weren't always conducive to my health followed me into young adulthood, choices and relationships, but namely the relationship with myself. So fast forward, on my path to value, what I found was that what I thought success looked like, a linear path of checking off goals and objectives, has included love, it's included trauma, it's included joy, it's included betrayal, it's included happiness, it's included unforgiveness, it's included patience and chastening, hardship and privilege, frustration and peace, success and failure, and they have all worked to grow and stretch me and have showed me how to nurture me and what nurtures me. A path that is sometimes messy and clean and all jumbled up together at the same time. It was a series of these failures that led me, or what I like to call invitations to learning, because I really hate the word failure, but it led me to the path of the work that I'm doing now. I was a single mom. It's like my kids say, we were broke as a joke. I had 3 kids. Baby daddy was incarcerated. But I also had gifts and talents, even if they were underdeveloped. I was brilliant, a strategic thinker, a great writer and communicator of beauty, love, joy, and enthusiasm for life, my relationship with God, and the ability to build relationships and connect with people around me. The irony is that my path to heal myself and to nurture myself led to the work that I am currently on and doing, and transformed in a way that is lifting up the conversation of food justice, food apartheid, and food equity in this community in a way that was not present before. And it also has built on the work that many people have done before Food to Power Colorado Springs Food Rescue, or the student projects here at Colorado College. James Baldwin says, "Beyond talent lie the usual words, discipline, luck, but most of all, endurance." Through the process of this place in my life, I had learned how to show up for me, the value of me, and I have to continue to choose that daily. I had to learn how to not view myself through the lenses of my circumstances, hardship, or the way that other people may see me. The spirit deep down inside me nagged, nudged, and refused to let me lay down and die or accept what was. This commitment to stay in the fight of embracing myself helped me to develop my relationship with myself. I got to know myself that in ways that built my confidence. It helped me to seek out and grow, again, what nurtures me, relationships, connections, hobbies, the growth of my faith, and even in the times, or even when times were hard, and there were so many, many, many hard times, because at the same time, I'm raising a family. I'm raising children by myself, and I have to show up for them every single day. And so I felt like I was always on. And the truth of the matter is, there were a lot of times that was absolutely the truth. But this process has also been in times of incredible joy, breakthrough, and frankly, victory. One of the solaces in my life was learning to grow food, because it spoke to somewhere deep inside of me that was resident in generations before me. It taught me spiritual lessons. It also called out my writing. And to the people who literally gave me access, literal space, or grandmotherly care in mentorship, like a garden plot, I want to say, Miss Fannie B. Lee, thank you. Promise Lee, thank you. But I also want you to know that I'm sharing this story with you to encourage you. As you embark on your journey to learn more about you and the world around you, there are going to be times that are really hard. But they're not the end. Sometimes, though, they can absolutely feel like it. And I can stand here and promise you that rain nurtures and mercy is always carried on the dawn of a new day. And healing can be available to you right where you are, even if you have to look really creatively through the lenses of hope in increments. Keep going. It's okay to take time to get to know you, what nurtures you, what grows you, what challenges you, what you're good at, what you're not good at, to embrace you, to embrace your mistakes, and invitations to learn and to have compassion with you. Reach out to your supports. Take time to build your friendships and relationships and connections. And when there is no support, sometimes you have to show up as the support, and you're gonna have to muster that from wherever you can. And sometimes you've got to encourage yourself. Discovering the power of you becomes evident in the process. Your character, your resilience, your passion, your tenacity, your being can be found in the process. In those experiences in my early childhood, I never really found a model of identity that seemed to fit me truly. It kind of felt like I was a circle trying to smash into a triangle peg. Whether those expectations were spoken or unspoken, I sometimes bumped up against cultural expectations of others that I simply didn't have a framework for. And with limited tools as a youngin', I interpreted that as a failure of self. As a teenager, I started to develop lots of defensiveness around my being, and as a form of protection, really. And quite honestly, it was necessary at times. What I later understood was that as I was searching for a way to express my ability to hold my entire being, that I don't have to choose only parts of myself. I am a full being, Afro, Latin, and some European countries too, with a profound understanding of how I present in the world. I remember one afternoon going to the grocery store. I'm noticing all these are food stores. I remember going to the grocery store with my stepmother, and I had just moved in with her a few weeks earlier, and she is Black Irish. And on the ride home, I told her, I feel like wherever we go, people are always looking at me because I'm Black. I felt so insecure because I thought people were trying to figure out our relationship or place judgment on it. I felt othered, I felt excluded, which was an all too familiar feeling to me. And maybe she saw the hurt on my face, and she turned to me and she said, "Of course they are, honey. It's because you're absolutely beautiful." Now, she could have just been trying to make me feel good, and knowing her, she probably was. But I felt so humbled in that moment because that thought had literally never occurred to me. An evergreen lesson, as in I'm still learning, have been learning over the years, is that what I understand simplistically to be justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion work is making conscious decisions to create paths to humanize people and hold value for their humanity in tangible ways. JEDI is not a map coordinate. or a destination point that you arrive at in a journey. Every time you invite someone new into your life, to your table, what have you, whether that be at school, a partnership, workplace, in your community, your church, really whatever space or thing that you do that fosters connection with people, it shifts every time someone comes to that space. They are coming with their being, their intersections, their experiencing, and Jedi is really figuring out how to tangibly make room. And it cannot happen without compassion and justice. You are on an exciting journey of transition in both your personal and academic growth. You are away from home, you're stepping out into the future, your agency in making decisions is growing, you're getting to know yourself better for the first time, maybe at all. It's important to your health and well-being that you build community around you to support you. College can feel overwhelming, especially in this time of transition. It's a space and environment. It is more important in this space and environment, it's more important to build relationships with your peers, faculty, and staff. In fact, those will be paramount to your thriving. It will also, as you get to know people, what's also going to present are the socioeconomic and racial disparity challenges that are here on campus. Building relationships in a way that humanizes people and builds connections and draws out your purpose and theirs is paramount. You, just like me, are going to encounter times when you are in a space where people don't look like you, they don't think like you, and they don't believe like you. And you may even experience that sense of loneliness from being so far from home. Make Colorado Springs your community. My advice is that to do that and to build those connections and to build those relationships, that you do your best to humanize the person in front of you. Listen to their experiences with the same compassion that you want and desire for yourself. You're going to get some things wrong, so also hold compassion for yourself. Apologize when you're wrong. Embrace grace and forgiveness. You are learning and growing, and what comes with that are glows and grows. Again, humanize people. Love, genuine love, radical love can look a lot of different ways. Seek out growth and look for ways to apply your learnings to yourself first. Listen. Sometimes you don't know everything. And remember that listening doesn't mean just doing what other people want you to do. Listen to the voice that's inside of you too. So what can you do with all this reflection and embracing difference? I'm glad you asked. I have another quick story. So on my quest to find myself, I applied for a mission at Colorado College, and I was denied. I was not a traditional student. Resources were not abundant. I had 3 kids, and so figuring out the block plan would have probably been intense, and I would have needed a lot of support to complete successfully. I mention that story to only illuminate the fact that I am standing on this stage today. A stage that was not meant for me is a testament to the possibility and imaginations of what a more inclusive Colorado College can be. There are also lots of, although there were lots of barriers to acquiring a liberal arts education, brilliance, aptitude, and capability are not any of them. Don't entertain that thought, and I'm speaking specifically to students who might find yourself feeling othered. Do not entertain that thought for a moment. You have to know that you were chosen to be here and that you have the power within you to stay here. I went to college differently, and my path included building relationships at Colorado College, creating equity and education through those relationships, working on participatory action research, partnering with UCCS in the same way, Pikes Peak Community College, and really working to bridge community to this particular institution. I say that because every student's experience here at CC is not the same, particularly those who are BIPOC, LGBTQIA+ identifying and have a different socioeconomic class than the majority. CC's mission is to provide the finest liberal arts education in the country. And admittingly, while the institution has made a commitment towards anti-racism, it may never achieve that goal. The real lasting work and power towards anti-racism and building a more just and inclusive Colorado college, that change is going to be activated from you. Educate yourself on the impacts of racism and others of different communities and experiences through books, seminars, workshops, and discussions. One of the things that I really love about Colorado College is how they make world-class thought leaders available to the public. They literally bring people here and they do it in a way that is accessible to the general public, and so you should take advantage of those opportunities. Be willing to engage in critical conversations with your peers, faculty, and staff. Create brave, soft, safe, and inclusive spaces, and what I mean by soft is just literally you're going to have to hold vulnerability. Put intention in fostering, put intention into making those spaces that welcome people from all backgrounds and make them feel valued. Encourage open and respectful conversations about race, privilege, gender, and sexual orientation. Support initiatives that promote diversity and inclusion on campus. Stand in solidarity with students at the margins of campus. Support their initiatives and events that promote inclusion on campus. Attend cultural celebrations, guest lectures, and performances that highlight the experience of underrepresented people and groups. You can show support by actively participating and spreading the word. Advocate for change. Use your voice, use your pen, your laptop, whatever platform you have to advocate for policy change that promotes equity, justice, diversity, and inclusion. Work with student organizations and clubs focused on social justice to organize campus campaigns and events and address systemic racism and inequalities. Show up in support, not necessarily in leadership, but by amplifying and supporting the voices of communities at the margin. Reach out to faculty and administrators who are committed to their more just and equitable and anti-racist efforts. Work together to develop curricula, organize workshops that integrate justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Ibram X. Kendi, one of my favorite authors and historians, says that the opposite of racist is not racist. It is anti-racist. You have to actively choose anti-racist. It's a verb. You're entering an institution of people that values critical thinking, social justice, and the pursuit of knowledge. This environment gives you a unique platform to challenge the status quo, question existing systems, and advocate for meaningful change. You are not alone. Students, staff, faculty are here to support you, and so is the wider Colorado Springs community. And you have to build that community and cultivate it based on your passions, your interests, and be creative in what that looks like. There are literally anything that you want to get involved in that speaks to your passion. There is a nonprofit in Colorado Springs doing that work. So I would advise you to get connected and see what it is that that just really sparks your passion. Together, you have the potential to create a ripple effect that extends far beyond the boundaries of this campus. Colorado Springs Food Rescue, now Food to Power, a full-fledged community-led organization, was started as a CC student's idea. Embrace opportunities to grow, to learn, and to engage with diverse perspectives, and again, take advantage of the numerous resources, workshops that help deepen your understanding of social issues. The more you are able to make that understanding relative to you, the better equipped you are to effect change. But don't just stop at getting knowledge. Use your voice and actions to challenge injustice and promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Whether that looks like engaging in peaceful protest, organizing events, or engaging in conversations with empathy and respect, view these things as your act of service to the world around you. This is also your act of service to yourself. Remember, change takes time and perseverance. It won't always be easy, sometimes lonely, and you will face opposition. But you have to put in the work, full stop. In the process, you will gain more confidence, endurance, and you will trust yourself, and you will trust those around you. Also, learn to take breaks. You have to recharge and nurture yourself as well. Stay resilient, stay determined, stay committed to your vision and the hope and belief that a more just and equitable world is possible. Thank you.
Oh, Colorado College Fair, we sing our praise to you, eternal as the Rockies that form our western view. Your loyal sons and daughters will always grateful be. The college dear to all our hearts is RCC. Oh, Colorado College Fair, long may your fame be known. May fortune smile upon you and honor be your own. Our alma mater always, our loyal children we. Together let us face the future, LCC.
I invite you to stand as moved to hear these final words. As we go into the new year, may we stay curious, opening to the gift of each other, new ideas, and all that is unfolding in our lives. May we encourage each other in our love of learning, finding joy in our friendships as we awaken to wonder, discovering new ways and places of flexibility. And in the challenging times, when we are tired and frustrated, perhaps grow impatient, disillusioned, or heartbroken, may we have the courage, strength, to be present with ourselves, each other, and communities with compassion, empathy, humility, honesty, and truth-telling as we live into our communal values, commitment to what is just in the world. And may we find ways to stay grounded and practice self-care and communal care, knowing, believing that we are in this together. All is well in this moment. May it be so.